Hello and welcome to How to Use Canva Like a Pro. I am recording these videos in 2021, and if you followed me for a while, you would know that I first recorded these tutorial videos for Canva back in 2017. And as we all know, 4 years is an eternity in the online app world. And so those videos need to be updated. And so this is the updates, new and improved for that series. Each of these is intended to be 10 minutes or less. Some will be a lot less than 10 minutes long, but that way you can get in, search by topic, find exactly what you need help with, and start using those tips. So one of the big changes in 2017, I was not recommending clients or anyone to pay for what was then called Canva for Work. That was their paid subscription because the free Canva had almost the same amount of features because Canva was not nearly as robust a software as it is now. Now in 2021, they have added so many features, so many stock photos, so many templates that I actually recommend that clients pay for what is now called Canva Pro. So for about $10 a month, depending on the country that you live in, that is a really good deal for you to get as much functionality as out of the software as you possibly can. So if you are not using any other creative software for graphics or social media templates, those types of things, Canva is what I recommend for many reasons. And I do recommend that you pay for the paid version because you will have so much more functionality. And I'm going to show you a lot of what this new functionality is and how you can maximize that, create files easier, and look more professional, obviously, when you do. So first tip here to tell you is if you are creating a new Canva account, please do not use one of these top 3 sign-ins. Use your own email and password that is unique to Canva. That will become important if you want to share actual access to your account with someone else. So for me, I actually go into my clients' Canva accounts and create and set up files for them personally there. If they were to log in through Facebook or Google, that means I would also need their Facebook or Google or Apple login, and I don't want that. And you don't want to be giving out that information. For security reasons in general, you shouldn't be logging into any app through a third-party app. You should have a straight sign-in. So this is one of the places where I recommend doing that. So let's sign in here. Obviously, I already have an account, so we're going to get started. This first video is just going to take you around Canva Home. So everything that's in here. There's a lot of really great features now in Canva Pro, and I'm going to show you what all of those are. So we're going to go down this left column first. When you first log in, you're going to see your designs in the first row, and then below is their recommendations for you, which is why it's called recommended for you, kind of based like a Netflix menu. So it looks at what you've created, so it sees a lot of these square templates, which are obviously for Instagram posts, so it's going to pull up that, posters, Facebook, those types of things. The better function for you is to go to all your designs, and you're going to see everything that you created and not have to worry about filtering through all this other stuff. So this is also where you would want to go to create a new design. So you can choose something of theirs, and sometimes those dimensions work really well. If you've watched my other videos, you'll know that things like Facebook banners, LinkedIn banners, it's often better to use custom dimensions. So that would be this custom size here. You can create any size that you want a file. In pixels usually is what you're going to want for a digital application. So this is most often what I use. I just set up a custom size because you're still going to get the templates once you go into your design. All right, so shared with you obviously is files that other people have shared with you. You can see all of them when you click this button. There's 2 super great things about Canva Pro. The first one is this brand kit. So with a Pro account, you can upload all of your logos, icons, any of that stuff here into your brand logos set. And you can title this if you want. I've just left mine untitled. With free Canva, you cannot do any of this. You cannot load any logos. You can just have general uploads. And in a subsequent video, you'll see the difference in that. You can put in 3 brand colors, but a lot of businesses have more than 3. And so you're constantly going to have to look up hex codes and those types of things. Not a great way to be spending your time. So if you have a pro account, you can upload a lot of colors into your brand colors. You can also add additional palettes. So if you have a different palette for, let's say, a membership program or a course, or if you have a sub business or a secondary business, you can add all of those different palettes in here and just name them differently so you know which is which. And then all of those palettes will show up when you create your actual designs. And again, a lot of this we're going to get into a lot more in additional videos, but this is going to take us through the homepage features. And then you can set brand fonts based on what Canva Pro has available, which is a whole lot more fonts than free Canva has. You can also upload your own fonts. So if you've purchased some, or if there's a Google font that is not in Canva, you can upload that custom one there. You can set this so when you go to place new type in a new design, these are going to be easily handy for you to access. So these are the big features of the brand kit in Canva Pro. Content Planner is a great feature if you are mostly creating social media graphics. You can schedule them right here within Canva. Obviously, you can see there's nothing here. I don't schedule my content this way. I use a different application, but this is certainly an option for you. You can create a team. So if you have a VA or an OBM or anyone else that you want access into your account, you can add them here. All of your folders, this is the second thing in Canva Pro that I really love. And this allows you to sort of categorize all of your stuff in Canva. So you'll see the logos that I've uploaded in the brand kit, they automatically make their own folder here. And again, when we get into the actual designs, you're going to see why this is so great. I've got one here. This is something that I use with clients. And then brand photos. So I have uploaded some of my own photos here. I can always access them when I need them. Things like Canva stock. This is something that I often recommend for clients. When you are searching photos in Canva and you see something that you like and you think, oh, that might be great for a future post or for next week's post, but I don't want to create it now, you can add all of those. Same with graphics, you can add them into a folder so they're saved for later. So you don't have to go back and search again and try to remember what keywords did you use to find that really cool photo that you found. You can just dump them all in here. So you'll see these are some of the ones that I had just put in. So these are all Canva free photos, but I have saved them to a folder for future use. And then patterns. So you can add all kinds of things. If you've got watermarks, if you've got patterns, if you've got other graphic elements, if you have a podcast and you have specific graphics for your podcast, you can put them in here. If you have, as you start to build social media files, so you could have one for Facebook, you could have one for Instagram. You could even sort them out by month or by year or by quarter. Whatever way helps you access them and find them easiest. That is usually what I recommend to people. So there's a lot of use for this folders feature here in Canva. And then trash, obviously that's trash. It will hold your trash items. I believe it's up to 30 days and then it automatically permanently deletes them. But if you needed to go in, you're like, oh, I deleted something last week and I wish I had kept it. If it's been less than a month, you can usually access them here. And then you can force an empty of your trash can too. Along the top here, these are things that people really often don't know about, and it's kind of a shame. So clicking either the blue dot for Canva or clicking home, this is going to take you to home. This is the home landing page for Canva. Templates is going to take you straight to specific things that you might be looking for. So if you're wanting to build an Instagram story, you can click here. It works kind of like a stock photo search engine would work for, think of Upsplash, Unsplash, or something like that. So you can click on an image, you can get a close-up view, you can see the other pages, and then you can use that template. So it will open it into a new design and let you start using that there. The other thing, like these features, so with photos, you can search a photo. So let's say you could type in your keyword and search, or you can click on a photo. You can use it in a design right away, or as I mentioned with the folders, you can add it to a folder. So you can add it to something that's already here. So for this one, for me, I would add it to my Canva stock folder, say move here, and it's just going to save a copy of it right there. I don't have to use it right now if I don't want to. And then there's other features across the top. There are learning tools, videos, blog posts, if you want to search something specific in Canva and learn that there. Across the top, something to know with, let's go back to home here. Something with Canva Help. So this help button at the top is going to take you to the help center. So you're going to leave Canva home and be able to search here. The bottom right one down here pulls up a little help window within the main window. So like a lot of different apps that I've used, you can search, let's say trim. I want to know how to trim my file. And you're going to see all these other options, and then you're going to see the instructions down here. This is the same way it works within a design file. So if you're not wanting to go out and come back in, the bottom right help button is much more helpful than going to the help center. And then the gear icon, most of us are familiar, that's your account settings. It's the same as if you go to your profile, these account settings here, it's all the same. And that will take you into the nitty-gritty of your account, your security, your billing, and print orders, which is a new feature with Canva where you can order actual printed items. So if you're used to using something like Vistaprint or moo.com, same types of things, but you could actually order straight through Canva. And that depends on where you live, what country you're in, where you're shipping to. But that is a feature there that is very handy. And I know a lot of people use it and quite love it. So that's the quick walkthrough of Canva Home and what all of these different features are. Stay tuned for subsequent videos on all the other features in Canva.